A captain versus a literal masterpiece. ArT versus Harstem in the upper bracket of the European qualifying stage. We have an underdog, we have an overdog. Harstem, well, you know him. You would expect him to qualify. But this is actually a really fantastic series. It's a lot closer than you think it's going to be. So make sure to hopefully enjoy it. Before we get into this, though, again, reminder, I upload one video in 4K every single day of the week. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you value that. And also, I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT North America, every Saturday for EPT Korea. So make sure to follow me there as well, twitch.tv/Beowulf. But now, enjoy a pretty sick PvP. Spawning in the upper right here in the blue. He is for the Shopify Rebellion. You know him. He's Harstem. In the bottom left, in the pink, the Genesis Gaming upstart. He's ArT. And now the question we must ask ourselves, as always, how does ArT look to paint this map with stalkers? Will the captain steer his ship towards a requalification towards Dreamhack Valencia? Magnetics, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in the mindset where BattleB plays for Alpha X and ArT plays for Alpha X and all these things. Because I cast like a show match for them once when they were both on Alpha X, and that's just the earworm. So look at this, ArT going for Schrodinger's Pylon in game number 1. He's not going to do anything with it. Notice his probe leaves immediately, but it is just to distract Harstem to say, oh, well, who knows? Maybe something crazy is happening. Maybe he's proxying me. But the answer is not that. Answer is never that. And Harstem, though, for his part, opening up with the Stargate in the main base, and already this is a very different style of PvP. Or PvP, excuse me, than we saw in the entirety of the last series. And that's something that we will be wanting to track here, and will be true in general, where Harstem is a player that has many different styles. He has a much larger playbook than clearly Libao and Fighting Frog had. So I don't expect to see the same thing over and over and over again. That is a lot of potatoes, but hey, you know what? French fries are good. Question is, do you bake them or do you deep fry them? And if you deep fry them, and do you twice fry them? Because that's the important thing. And I assume you parboil them too. Anyways, Stalkers of ArT on the side of the map. They're going to find a couple of depths they run across, but both players on one base right now. No one really seeming desirous of a natural too quickly. Whether it's an aggressive option, whether it's for aggressive or defensive reasons, we're gonna have to find out. I mean, certainly for Harstem, it is defensive region. Oh, that was almost bad. ArT, the last second, he's able to make this happen. He's able to keep the adepts out. Meanwhile, ArT Stalkers are gonna find their way into the main base here, and it's gonna be a good scout. Now, Oracle, of course, blast cannon. It does kill things pretty quickly though, so we're gonna see one Stalker fall, and that is unfortunate, but it's the scout. It's unfortunate, but that's how these things go. So now Oracle, ArT would looking to find it. He was not successful in that. What do we have in the main base? There's a shield battery, so we're fine. 2 Stalkers, a shield battery. Oracle really is not going to get much done, but Harstem already second Oracle on the way. He's looking to mitigate the mitigation. Counter to the counter to the counter. Incredible. Anyways, ArT has a much quicker natural going down now. Twilight on the way. Not this really quick Twilight that we saw in the Libao series, but a much more moderately timed one. One where you acknowledge that you're on one base for a little bit. You acknowledge that you're buying a lot of Stalkers early. You acknowledge that, well, everything's slowed down by these rather defensive openings. But now Oracle tries to fly in once again, just gets the Revelation. I'm surprised we haven't seen the Oracles pair themselves up yet. And if you're going to do that, I'm surprised you spend the money on the or spend the energy on the Revelation, because Oracles, of course, when you have two of them, they tap through the shield battery. They say, I don't care about that. So you want to have maximum energy on both Oracles to make sure you get maximum damage. But Harstem's just going to wait, because eventually there will be a time where ArT does not have Stalkers in the middle line, and that's where he's going to find his value. That's where he's going to find his truth. Oracle now wants to run in. Harstem's Oracle, I mean, again, I guess I get it. He's just sitting here and waiting. But his Oracle control does perplex me just, or his Oracle play perplexes me just a little bit. But now ArT getting active on the map. His blink is done. He's up army supply, and we got to remember that 4 of that supply from Harstem is in the Oracles. So ArT actually finds himself up pretty significantly army supply. Here's Stalkers blink forward. 1 Oracle is going to get tagged, but not go down. This pressure from ArT, though, it's an interesting one. I don't know how well it's going to work out for him right now. Now Stalkers run in, they got out. 1 Stalker dies, and Harstem does not lose 1. A little bit missing on the sync, right? If you get all those Stalkers, they have 1 shot, they hit at the same time. That Stalker from Harstem dies, but shield battery otherwise says no. But now here we go, Harstem. This is what he's been looking for a while. Adepts into the mineral line, but good force field there on the sentries means that he's really not going to get all that much. Only 2 workers die. Now Oracle's diving into the main base here. Stalkers, they've already used their blink. This is the damage that Harstem is looking for, but on the other side of the map, it looks like ArT finding some level of value on the other side, but no, 10 workers is not 3. Harstem, he's going to be pretty happy with that one. Granted, his 3rd base is not going to happen for a while. So there is that. I mean, air fryers are just a convection oven. Get chilling. Like, it's like, great, I have an air fryer. You have a convection oven. Congratulations. Anyway, okay, so 3rd base going down from Harstem on the north side, so he's going to be able to avoid the marauding Stalker force that's looking to deny the pylon, or deny the probe that wants to run in there. So Harstem gets his base up. He's up 3 workers now, because, again, his 3rd base is much slower, so 3 probes at a time are doing a pretty good job of bringing ArT's economy back into this game. And Harstem, his blink is delayed. His +1 is faster. His charge is faster. And most importantly, his progression into Blink Stalker Disruptor is faster. So now we're entering one of those interesting game states where you do have properly asynchronous, not asynchronous, different tech. ArT, he's got his +1. He's going to tie out with Harstem in a second, but ArT is going Charge Lot Archon. And it's a very powerful army. You can get high in supply pretty quickly, as we saw what Libao did in Game 1. But it doesn't have the burst potential. Nearly the same level of burst potential as a couple disruptors do. So, and it's certainly, because the House Zealots, they cannot blink. Archons certainly do not blink. You can get some really juicy disruptor shots, and it really does start to become rather problematic. But now the Zealot's going to run in. Harstem's got to be careful, though, because he doesn't have too many disruptors yet. He's sitting at, I believe, actually none. The first one is on the way. Stalkers blink forward. Stasis traps are pretty cool here. That's going to be nice. Stalkers blink forward. Oh, no, that was 4 Stalkers in the Warp Prism there. That was not what you wanted there, ArT. But there we go. 1 Stasis trap does get triggered. That should be that. Without the Warp Prism, it's going to be really hard for ArT to do much of anything. And a couple Zealots here or there, sure. But this timing where Harstem really didn't have his disruptors, gone. So ArT instead says, yeah, okay, fine. I'm going to put pressure here. I'm going to zone you out. I'm going to take my 4th base. I'm going to develop my economy even more. And then, well, maybe that's going to find me a lead in this game, because certainly I'm not taking the fight that I want. Certainly I let my Warp Prism go a little bit too far forward, and losing 4 Stalkers in a Warp Prism really equalized just about all the supply. That big supply differential that ArT had built for himself. All right, so 2 disruptors for Harstem right now. He does have a terrifying army. Is a disruptor shot? Yeah, that's gonna miss. But ArT, he's moving into his next level pretty well as well. He's gonna move into disruptor play. Dark Shrine on the way. And his big advantage is the fact that he does have that 3rd base, or that 4th base, just a little bit faster. So he will be able to go and mine a little bit more from Harstem. Harstem, though, really making use of these. Oh, this is pretty cool. Again, he's making such great use of these oracles. Just stasis traps everywhere on the map. But now Harstem looking to get aggressive here. Blinks forward, knocks down the knocks down hallucination. Disruptor shots going to be nice against the Archon, sure, but it's not really going to do all that much. And the flanking one, no, Harstem, he's got first mover's advantage there, but now Starks blink forward. Disruptor shot doesn't really land here. I think all the disruptors of Harstem have been used, but now Harstem, he blinks forward. Good force fields, though, to keep the Stalkers in range. And yes, he kills some disruptors, but interesting fight. Interesting fight. But ArT solidly on 4 bases. +3 is on the way. DT blink. Really, we have paired everything, and ArT just finds himself with a minor, just a minor supply lead. Again, it's really in the workers, actually. He's up 10 workers. He's got that 5th base on the way. Now, Harstem's aware of this. He's got a scout on the bottom side. And the 1 Phoenix that Harstem has made just to deal with a Warp Prism. It's going to force it back for now. But here we go. Fight kicking off in earnest once again. Oh, he's not paying attention. ArT, that's a big shot. That's not what you wanted. We're going to have to see if any more happen. But for now, he's paying attention now. And he should be okay. ArT is really... The problem that he's dealing with right now is he's always under the vision of Harstem, because those oracles have been kept alive all game. So it makes it really hard for ArT to really do much. He's going to try to bait Stalkers in by saying, oh yeah, I got 1 disruptor out of my lonesome, it's fine. Stalker's going to blink out of those disruptor shots, but they do provide a little bit more room here. Harstem wins the positive trade on that one, and now the Stalkers, they blink forward because there are not a lot of disruptors available for ArT right now. Harstem zoning out, doing what he can, looking to break this base, and I think he will be able to do so. Probes are going to get pulled, just running away, actually. They're not even going to join the fight. You don't want that. You don't want your probes to die. But the 4th base looks like it will stay alive a little longer. DT's on the other side there. Oh, yeah, no, actually, they're going to knock the cannon down. So these DTs, they're going to force a recall, at least of the Observer, and they're going to get so many workers, really equalizing all the problems that ArT had. And now ArT on the middle of the map here, he goes forward, blinks back. Sorry, folks, that's something in my throat. Let's see what happens here. So more disruptors. Harstem continuously zoning with him. He's going to actually not get a disruptor, but he's going to kill a Stalker. That's something. And he has found himself a little bit of a supply lead. Now, disruptor shot from the south side, not really going to get too much. More DTs find their way into the 4th base here of Harstem. So 4 workers die to start. But there is detection, so it will only be 4. Still, though, ArT is up 17 workers. That might even be too many workers at this point, considering, well, he means Harstem's max out is going to be so much bigger. His so much bigger. But players also maybe coming to the realization that this game does not end in the mid game. This game does need to go later. Oh, big disruptor shot knocked a disruptor down. Now Harstem over the edge of things. He's got superior vision, so he's able to make that happen. And Harstem's DTs, his very own DTs, they're causing problems here too. There's going to be no detection anymore. All the cannons go down, forcing a recall on the detection there. Same story from earlier, but Harstem gets less. Harstem does get less stuff, so he says, okay, well, you know, that's fine. That's going to happen. Let me just rotate my entire damn army around. As, of course, just disruptors are zoning, but ArT looks to cut him off the pass from behind, cutting off reinforcements, cutting off rallying disruptors maybe. And now Harstem, he's stuck in a bit of an awkward spot. Yes, 18 workers have died, but the oracles are starting to fall now, which is, of course, probably the most valuable thing you can have. DTs on the north side, not really getting what they need just yet, but now ArT, he's got inside track. He's going to find this extra base. He's going to start to knock it down. Shield battery overcharge doesn't last all that long at all, and disruptors on the backside, they can start to zone Harstem with tremendous alacrity. Harstem, he's got one army on the left side, but actually, no, he's going to lose all these disruptors. ArT, he's got one last shot. It's not going to work out here, so it is just a bunch of stalkers and one immortal versus so much more, but that is just going to be it. The single G. ArT taps out. Harstem takes game one. In the bottom left, in the blue, he's up one here for the Shopify Rebellion. He is the captain. It's Harstem. In the upper right, in the pink. He's down a map, but he can make it happen for Genesis Gaming. He's ArT. Someone has that as an emote. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. Wardy, you're brilliant. The single G emote is... Oh, that makes me so happy. That's hilarious. Wardy, you absolute animal. Absolute legend, I guess. Really? BD Penguin? Pretty sure at the very least it's a word that that Day9 has used. But yes, someone once told me that I'm the Earl Grey of StarCraft casters. Not sure what that means, but we're trying to lead into it, right? Do we need bigger words? Do we need to talk about how this build from ArT is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Something, wonder why. It's rather quite atrocious. But it's the same build. I mean, interestingly enough, ArT has opted to go for a Stargate play in this game, but it's proxy. Harstem did not proxy Stargate game one, but we're starting to see the series planning of ArT really start to show up a little bit. Game one, he went for Schrodinger's pylon. He put a pylon in a spot. He didn't do anything with it, but he put it there, and that messed with Harstem scouting. At least it would have if Harstem had actively... No, Harstem scouted the main. So yeah, that gives Harstem maybe an idea that something's going to get proxied. So now that there's the same scout. Well, it's just normal, right? Because ArT didn't proxy anything, but ArT will have that Stargate done, and he will build oracles out of it. Too sweet, but Harstem... Well, he's building a shield battery in the naturals, not building one on the main base just yet. He understands that it's not the timing, though. Oracles from ArT will arrive around the 340 mark. If they finish there, 330, 340. So if he wants to defend the main with a shield battery, he's still got a little bit of time before the Oracle completes, flies in. Harstem. He gets a scout off on the main base, though. He says, okay, well, there's nothing here. Seems a little sus. So he rotates his stalkers, his sentries in the main base. And you need 3 stalkers to defend an Oracle, so having 4 is even better. 2 means that the Oracle can, get some damage before it is forced out, but second Oracle on the way. And ArT's pooling them. Interesting. So he's pooling them because he thinks that there's going to be a shield battery, but there is no shield battery. So technically he could run and get damage, and then the shield battery is built, and then he flies in with 2 and gets even more. But he doesn't know that, so he'd rather ensure maximum burst damage. Maximum potential for damage in this game. But now 2 oracles are ready. ArT's just going to look to dive in immediately. And what do we have on the main base? 3 stalkers. Blink is not yet done, so 3 stalkers are actually not even 100% in position. So now ArT flies in. 1 worker, 2 goes down. 3 workers die. 1 oracle already getting rather low. Harstem, is he gonna... Oh, he gets the oracle. That's a problem. That is pretty disastrous there. You commit to 2, you proxy it. You kill 3 workers. And you lose your oracle for it. That is not what you're looking for. So ArT is going to be pretty unhappy with the state of things. He doesn't even find himself in a worker lead. But he does have pylons on the map. He says, well, yeah, that didn't work. Maybe it's time for me to go to the next level of my aggression. Let me warp in more stalkers. My blink is not done for a while yet. Harstem's is done soon. But maybe I can put some pressure on. Maybe I can just have more stuff than you, Harstem. Maybe that's going to be the play. But now the stalkers are hard. They find the 3rd base. There's no shield battery here just yet, so Harstem, yeah, he's just going to cancel it. Says, you know what? I'm pretty far ahead. I'm in a good spot. I can afford that for right now. But the stalkers are, they're starting to get aggressive. Harstem, he does have blinks. So too does ArT, though, so that timing is gone. Now, Petey Peng, when you talk about vocab words, my favorite word currently, and in no way, shape, or form, is it relevant to StarCraft at all. I don't ever see myself using it in a cast because A, it's too technical, and B, there just nothing happens where that's important. But my favorite word currently is stigmergy, which is how anyway, we got that thought here because Harstem ArT is going to get aggressive, but really not going to get that much. 3rd base on the way once again. Okay, but this 3rd that's a bit greedy there. Harstem is going to have his 3rd base canceled for a 2nd time. This is where things start to get a little bit more complicated. And oh wait, the Stasis Trap bait. Yeah, you lose an oracle. That's annoying. But now ArT has so much more here. So the sentries, they will fall pretty much immediately. Force field doesn't do much here. ArT, he smells blood in the water. He says, yeah, you know what? Supplies are pretty equal, but it doesn't matter because half your stalkers, half your supply is locked in stasis, locked away from things. And we have a 2nd stasis ward popping up. Oh, is he going to time this? No, he's got it. He has, okay, there's detection. Never mind. That was almost fantastic. But okay. He does get a couple stalkers, and that still finds him with a bit of a worker lead. Hey, Phaser213, thank you so much for the subscription. The real sub, too, not even the prime. Wow. I feel so blessed. But now, stalkers blink forward. They're going to knock down, I guess that was a... Looked like a probe. I kind of missed what died. But Harstem... 3rd base on the way for a 3rd time in this game. Has been denied twice, and ArT is just on top of this. Harstem doesn't get a base. It's not allowed. Harstem is not allowed to expand in this game, and we will start to see him get aggressive off that because he really, at this point, starting to feel like he doesn't have a choice. He needs to find aggression on the map because otherwise ArT will just continue to cancel that 3rd base, and that's a problem. And Harstem does have superior upgrades. He does have +1. But Harstem says, okay, you know what? I forced you back. My 3rd base is up. I don't really want to do this. It is still attacking into shield batteries and inevitably other things. And in fact, ArT has the read too, so he's building a lot of shield batteries. But anyway, back to Stigmergy because I think it's cool. Stigmergy is the process by which swallows and fish and everything else like that, they communicate, they act as a group and they communicate without obvious visual signals. Like, if you ever see a flock of starlings, they're going around, they're making all these shapes in the sky, wheeling around, or how a school of fish determines where they want to go. That is through the use of stigmergic principles, like little wingtip shuffles and things like that. And it's not relevant at all to this cast, but I like the word, so we're going to talk about it. Hey, I play basic StarCraft. We all play basic StarCraft. Haha, Lingbane go burr. Haha, Void Ray go burr. ArT, though, he's going to get active on the map here once again. He says, you know what? You've got your third base. That's all the more likely for me to kill you with, my dear. He's going to run up, find himself up 10 army supply. But his upgrades are still behind, and the Harstem's +2 will complete around the same time. ArT's +1 will, and we don't really have a Robo Bay just yet. So it's not like ArT's going to be able to move into quick disruptors, but instead, we're seeing his supply start to balloon. We're seeing him attempt to do the same thing that Libao did in that previous series. Just get lots of Charizard Archon and really just say, I don't really care that you have 2 disruptors. I'm just going to kill you, Harstem. We're going to have to see how well that works for him, because now he's finds himself up 20 supply. Disruptor shot 1 misses. But now that means there's no Stalkers for Blink for just a little bit. There's a second Disruptor here that Harstem's going to look to use, but it's going to whiff as well. And now ArT, he's found pole position between the natural and the third base. More Disruptors popping out, of course, because, hey, constant production's a nice, beautiful thing. The split's actually going to be fantastic, though. Disruptors, they find no value. Your Stalkers blink forward, and the shield battery, it will go down here, so there's not much more than that. Disruptor, though, it's going to get a big shot on the backside. Only a couple Stalkers blink backwards. Now Stalkers blink forward, and it's all clumped up here for ArT. He's got to be so careful, but he hasn't broken the natural. Disruptors are starting to fall. He's going to get an extra one as the Robo pops it out, so that's not going to get much of anything. And Robo gets targeted down here. ArT, you got to kill that Disruptor, please and thank you. There we go. It will die as the army of Harstem finds its way onto the low ground. Warp Prism does fall, but Disruptors die in the exchange. ArT has done it. He's tied the series up, folks. It's 1-1 now. The captain falls. ArT, he paints the map. In the bottom right here in the blue. Oh, captain, my captain, for the Shopify Rebellion, it's Harstem. In the upper left, in the pink. Tied up in the series, taking a fantastic move in game number 2 for Genesis Gaming. It's ArT. If ever there was a map for single gate expand. Oh, wait, ArT going gateway. ArT went Nexus first. Oh, my. Ah, there, yeah, that's fair. PD Penguin. Absolutely, it's what a group of lings do. But yeah, ArT has gone Nexus first, and the greedy boy, you'll love to see it. Oh, man. Now, we're going to have to see how Harstem looks to punish this, of course, because Nexus first, there's a reason we don't see it all that often. There's a reason that ArT is doing this on Pride of Altaris for similar reasons. So it's greedy as hell. You're not going to have a lot of stuff early. Your Cybercore is very far delayed, which means your tech is delayed, means your warp gate's delayed, all these things. But this is Pride of Altaris. This is a map with 4 separate levels. That means 4 ramps that you can try to defend. Anyway, Harstem, though, yeah, he's going to proxy Stargate this on the understanding that, hey, you know, Stalkers are going to be delayed. Stalkers are delayed. They're not really going to pop out as quickly, and that does provide opportunities. Now, of course, ArT may read into this, may drop a pylon in that mineral line or near the mineral line, get a shield battery, and say, okay, Harstem. And Harstem responds, oh, yes, these are my favorite games. In fact, I would not be actually surprised to see ArT go into Stargate after Warpgate here. Just again, because he went so greedy. Generally, if you're going greedy, you almost always go Stargate just to keep yourself safe. But for now, it's just Stalkers. Harstem, of course, has gone for the gold because he says, look, if I'm going to be behind economically, I can actually, let me just springboard you. Let me go ahead economically. So really interesting move there. Shield battery going down. Is that the mineral line? Kind of. It doesn't really cover the mineral line all that well because of pylon positioning. ArT has to be extremely judicious with this pylon placement. And that does mean that, yes, some probes will be kept safe, but it's not going to be the blanket aegis of the mineral line. So Oracle now looking to dive in. Shield batteries in both bases, of course. But the Stalkers are only at the natural. For a second set of Stalkers, not about to pop just yet, but they're going to rotate in the main base here. And Oracle will not be able to find any value anyways. Nice job there. Quick pull from ArT. He's going to be okay. Also should point out, this is single Oracle. Harstem may get a second as he gets gas for it once he spins things elsewhere, but For now, single Oracle play, which means they're really not likely to get too much done this game on a let me kill workers perspective. From the let me establish map vision and drop stasis traps, certainly you find value there, but probably not going to get too many probes this game. Is rotating on over. Ooh, Stalkers, not where they need to be. A little bit of miss rally, miss micro. So 2 workers die. That is something the Stalkers from Harstem, they find this proxy pylon as well. So Harstem, minor things. He equalizes the worker count. In fact, he gets himself a little ahead because gold base means more minerals, means more probes. He finds the pylon that ArT was trying to put on the bottom side, and we go from there. Things advance. Also, PD Penguin, I'm sorry that you were not watching StarCraft in the D9 days. I hold, and I think many people will agree, no one tells a story. Whether it's in a cast, whether it's just storytelling in general. I don't think there's anyone better than Day 9. I mean, I just look back to the way he cast the end of Scarlet Bomber. I look back to how he cast, shoot, what's his name? Deer versus Jaedong on, I know the map. I can't remember the map name. I have it. I know what it looks like from that one BlizzCon where Jaedong with the burrowed roaches. I mean, he does better than anyone else setting up the story of the fight. I just aspire to be that good. Anyway, Harstem, his blink is done. He's got +1 halfway done. And he's going to get his third base pretty quickly. He's got the gold. He can power it up. And ArT is just... Does ArT even know that there's a gold? Okay, he does. But he's just going to opt to really not try to punish this all that much. A couple DTs, though. Actually, that's going to be the punish, maybe. Do we have a Robo? Ooh, this is a problem. No, we don't have a Robo. We only have a single Oracle. Which means that Oracle can only be in one spot at any given time. Cannon's going to go down, though. Harstem is aware of the threat, but I don't know if he's going to be in time. Actually, that being said, though, looks like DTs, they're just going to run in the main base and the natural. Nothing to really punish the third just yet, which means the cannon will get up. And that is unfortunate. I mean, Harstem is so well prepared for this. Oracle in the main, cannon in the third. Really, he shouldn't take too much damage from these DTs. But for now, there we go. There's the revelation. DT, his time is limited. Oracle's just going to kill it. Oracle just kills it, but 6 workers have already died. 7 workers have died. In the natural, that's where the other DT has found a value, and there's another revelation. More pulsar beams, but 9, 10 workers die for 2 DTs. I think you'll take that one. So Harstem solidly on 3 bases, but down 13 workers, which means the income is roughly even. Gas is in favor of ArT, of course. Okay, but Harstem charge is just about done, +2 on the way. And he is, again, rebuilding his probe count. It's not going to stay too far down for too long because, again, gold base is a powerful thing. And no DTs ran into the gold. So, certainly those probes, they were able to mine with peak efficiency the entire time. One thing I'm curious about, where are we at? How close are some of these mineral patches to mining out? The low ones are... They still got a couple hundred minerals. So, soon enough, Harstem is going to start to really have his income diminished. That is not this day. So again, the question is whether we have ArT, whether he has bought enough time, whether he's slowed down the economy enough of Harstem, that Harstem's not able to hit that really powerful timing with the massive economic boon that a gold base has. But we got to remember, gold bases are good. Gold bases give you money quickly. What gold bases do not do is have more money. Gold bases actually have less money when they're fully mined out than a blue base does. And of course, they also mine out faster for the other reason that they just mine faster too. So Harstem running forward on the map here. Shield batteries going down. We got a couple disruptors. And I don't really know that Harstem breaks this all that well. Yeah, he's got an upgrade lead, and it's going to be an upgrade lead for quite a while. Stars, though, they blink on forward. Disruptor shots are not going to go out to start. ArT is being extremely judicious with this one. Is Zealots on the left side, or single Zealot on the left side, not going to find all that much. Still, we have not yet seen ArT throw the disruptor out. He's just waiting, buying time. He says, look, I will trade with you. I will trade one for one. That's fine. Technically, the player with the better economy, well, ArT is the player with the better economy, so never mind. It's +2 on the way. Blinks forward, gets an observer. That's going to be nice. Oh, there we go. Oracle goes down as well. Wonderful trade. Disruptor shot going to go out now. Harstem, he blinks forward, which means he will lose a couple stalkers here. ArT got his 4th base on the way, but single Zealot's going to be annoying on that front. Now Harstem trying to find his way up the... It's so hard to find your way up the ramp. So what Harstem is doing here, he's occupying the majority of the army of ArT, so he can send Zealots and get a cancel on that 4th base to maintain the economic lead that he has built for himself in this game. But again, we got to remember, the longer this game goes, eventually the gold base mines out. And it mines out so quickly that you're not in one of these situations where it's like, yeah, my natural's halfway done, so I'm still getting... No, you really run out of everything. But look at this concave ArT has set up here. Harstem, he's got to be careful, but no! Wait, no, Harstem just triggers the trap before ArT is ready. Disruptor shot goes out now. Harstem, though, masterful move. He blinks forward. He cuts off the flank because ArT was on move command. And that does not work at all for the... That does not work at all for the Genesis Gaming Protoss. And it's crazy. We have 7 disruptors. I think they've killed a grand total of 5 units. Oh yeah, Terran Music's the best BD Penguin. I gotta say though, DTs look like they're in the 4th base though. Not gonna get the cannon. They're gonna just be forced on out. That's expensive. I gotta say the vocal music from StarCraft 2, I guess it's from Legacy maybe. The big masked chorus, that slaps. That's epic as hell. Okay, Warp Prism in the main base with an Archon with a bunch of Chargeless warping in. And yes, the Warp Prism does die. But there are 2 Archons here. This is... You don't warp in Stalkers, or you don't warp in Zealots to deal with this one. Archons will just annihilate it. So Army has to run home. Shield Battery Overcharge actually doing a pretty good job of keeping this alive. So eventually this will get dealt with. But Harstem says maybe it's my time to find position on the right side. Maybe it's my time to delay your 4th base. But the 4th base is already up. So Harstem has his 5th base on the way here. And that's the scary thing, right? Is this Archon will... He's got to fall sometime, right? He's got to die eventually. Harstem finds his way out of the 4th base, though. Disruptor shots going off. And again, ArT is being extremely judicious with these disruptors. He's not sending them out willy-nilly. He's just really trying to get the maximum possible trade. And that's working out Harstem's favor. Harstem 5th base on the way. And we talk about how the gold base mines out really quickly. Now it only has 4 mineral patches, and these are pretty quickly going to mine out. You get 7 minerals at a time from that one. 2 probes mining off it. It's a bit of a problem. Now Starks, they blink forward. And this is where things get complicated. Actually, PD Pick, let me check on that 1 second. But anyway, Stalkers or Disruptor shots going forward here. Harstem, he has Disruptors so well. He gets the Nexus. And ArT has just been trying to play this defensive style because he understands just how little he has. But by the way, in answer to your question, the full mineral patches are 1,800 resources, right? Let's see if I can find a blue one in Vision that we can click on. That's been mining for a while. There we go. We can use this one. No, that... I was sworn they were 2,400 on the big ones. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's good. Okay, no, yeah. So I guess it is the same amount. I could have sworn that gold mineral patches themselves had, or individual gold mineral patches had less than their blue equivalents. But I'm sorry for peddling false knowledge. Casterman was incorrect. Now, shout out to ArT here. Because Harstem has been dominating this map. He's been taking pretty much every fight he could want. Oh, Disruptor, though. ArT, be careful. But at the end of the day, ArT is still in this one. His economy is bruised but not broken. He's moving into Sky Toss soon enough. And he's doing just enough damage with these DTs to keep himself alive. Like, this is not easy to do against the just unending threat that is the gold base. And he's keeping himself alive. 8 workers have died. He kills some zealots as well. You'll take that one you'll take that one, absolutely. And sure, Harstem is on 5 bases now, but the gold base is mining out really soon. In fact, it looks like it might have even, there's one mineral patch with 50 minerals on it. So it is effectively mining out here. Stalkers nibbling forward. DTs, though, defensively are doing a really good job. There's no detection here right now, and from the flank, from the side, these zoning disruptors to keep the army back, that's all they will do. Hello there, Nina. Stalkers blink forward. I am sorry that we don't get to see you in Dreamhack North America this year, but I hope your surgery goes well. But okay, folks, we're going to move into carrier play. It's full late game PvP. In game 3, Battle Tars just does that. Oh, ArT. Never mind. Oh, I thought he had blink. I guess he thought he did too, but that is full center mass. That is so many stalkers going down. And it is incredible how little damage ArT has gotten with his disruptors this game. Like, he has had this 7 disruptor count, or whatever he's at, 7-ish, for pretty much the entire game, and he's not really hit one big shot. Ooh, interesting. So both players going for Fleet Beacon, but ArT immediately going to carrier play. Immediately going into mothership play, not going for carriers. And we're going to have to see whether this is minus 400, just part of the army, or whether this is going to be one of those repositioning strats where you send the mothership down on the right side and you teleport your entire army into your opponent's main base, and becomes rather interesting. Now, Harstem, he finds the one flanking disruptor. He says, I will not fall victim to this, starting to target fire down the third base. Now it's got less money here. ArT does not have, actually, no, he does have first mover's advantage, so he's going to start to knock down some of these disruptors, as trades are trades. But ooh, I really like this from ArT. He's going Tempest as disruptors land. But going did he? Okay, they weren't canceled. He got 3 of them out. In a game like this where you're just kind of stuck against the ropes defensively and you figure your opponent is probably going to go carriers, adding Tempests is just such a wonderful way to play. You kill Tempest, or you kill carriers really quickly. You have this range damage. You can start to really target fire down the disruptors. It is rather nice. But now disruptors of ArT are starting to fall stalkers. They got to be careful. They will try to blink on top of this. And +1 air attack is not done yet. Now disruptors are starting to trade just a little bit more. Looks like Harstem's got first mover on that one, but not quite in range of the disruptor, so Harstem just zoning here. As he's taking another base. This is a 6-base Protoss versus a 4-base Protoss. What's that, DTs in the natural? Yeah, DTs found some value, but defensive DTs are going to be fine here, and yeah, there we go. 6 workers go down. But it feels like ArT may have been able to stabilize just a little bit, so his 5th base is on the way. As Harstem looks to rotate over. And we talked about, okay, look, Tempests are good for all these reasons. One other reason, there's so much dead airspace in this map that it just makes Tempest in a free fire from forever away. Disruptor shots are going to go off, though. ArT, again, he takes the big one, but really it is about the Tempest now. It's about the sky transition that ArT has been able to make. He keeps his base alive, really doesn't lose that many workers. And he's got to make them mine, though. They're kind of sitting there, they're not mining for right now. But now here comes the mothership, and that makes life even more complicated. You can't kill what you can't see, but of course, there are plenty of observers on the field. 6 observers for Harstem, 3 for ArT. And Harstem, he's got a couple carriers, but he's not really going to find too much utility in their numbers this game. As now, here we go. The Tempests are arriving. Disruptors are starting to fall here. There we go. The tap, 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 tap. But on the backside, ArT still takes a big shot. He had blink for that too, so it seems like he gets complacent in his understanding of how many disruptors he's going to lose, or whether he's going to kill the disruptor or not. And the answer is he doesn't half the time. So he takes these big shots, which means he loses the 5th base. And on the north side, DT, or no, just sure, Immortal and Stalker run by is going to find some value here as well. Disruptor shots on the backside. Oh, so many disruptors fall down. That's not what you want here, friends. If you're an ArT fan, you're not happy about that one. Is we do see the Oracle die, but Mothership not useful for all that much because, hey, you know what? Revelation's a powerful thing, and Harstem is just maneuvering around the map in a way that ArT does not seem to match in the late game. It's not working out for him, but still, you got a lot of Tempests, and eventually that's going to start to wear things down. If ArT can just keep chasing this army and keep wearing it down, maybe that's going to be his win state. Maybe that's going to be his win condition. But it's going to be so damn hard. More disruptor shots land, more stalkers die, and stalkers playing forward. They're not even going to target the disruptor. That is unfortunate. Stalkers, they do continue to fall. And while the bank for Harstem is insane, it's really only insane in minerals. His gas bank is rather low. We're looking at 7 Tempests. I imagine 7 Tempests. How much? Do they one-shot stalkers? I don't know. Yeah, they seem to one-shot stalkers. One-shot disruptors as well. Stalkers playing forward, but a Tempest falls down pretty quickly. No longer do you have that one-shot potential there, Mr. ArT. It's a bit of a problem, but DT's on the north side. We're going to have defensive Zealots actually warping in with the DTs. They're just going to kill those really quickly here. It's not going to work out for ArT really as well as he would like. DTs are able to get out. They're able to run away, come back again another day. And this is just the slow constriction of our Genesis hero. That really is the game state, just the slow constriction of ArT in this game. Harstem has the map, but he's not being too aggressive. He understands how hard it is to find your way up a high ground into disruptors, into Tempest, things like that. So he says, look, I will literally take the map. And I will just out-tech you. I will out-money you. I will hit you with my wallet until you lose. And Disruptor, oh, hey, it's going to get an Archon, but not kill it. It really has been Harstem's game plan. And maybe some really juicy Disruptor shots, too. But yeah, the majority of Harstem's army now finds this 4th base that ArT so desperately needs to defend. It's not going to matter. It gets targeted down. And now we're to the point where ArT really cannot afford to rebuild it. He's looking at a decent amount of money, I guess. But there we go. Stalks targeting one Disruptor down. Second one. Harstem blinks out of it. Now flanking from the side. No. Okay. Just barely out of range. And Harstem, now he's moving into Tempest production. He has +3 air, +2 shields on the way. I really like the Tempest move from ArT. It was really smart. But it's not going to do all that much. Now Harstem blinks in once again. I mean, sure, Mothership is annoying. But as long as you kill the Disruptors, it doesn't really matter. More observers joining the fray once again. Oh, Disruptors on the high ground. Harstem is going to fall victim to not paying attention for once. Looks like a little bit. But, you know, I think Harstem is okay with this. Because that just buys him a supply cap to build more Tempests. 4 Tempests on the way at a time. Now Harstem actually even just trading some of his stalkers here. I mean, he doesn't want to lose them necessarily, but he doesn't hate to lose them either. If he kills some workers, if he finds some value out of them. And again, it just buys more room for more Tempests. And these Tempests are much, much scarier than ArT's. Let's be real. +2 shields, 3/3 on the way as well. We have flyer armor. We have a 2nd cyber core, so Tempest armor or Stargate armor in general is going to go down. But now ArT's found an inside track. He says, "Ah, yes, let me kill the gold." Harstem literally does not care about this. Maybe the gateways, maybe supply. If he gets supply blocked, I think he has too many next die for that to really be an issue. But he will gladly trade a base that's not mining for a base that is mining. ArT's going to lose his 4th base once again. But now, ArT's got a bit more of an inside track. We're going to have to see how this works out for him. How many Tempests per? 8 Tempests for Harstem and a carrier, which has not really been all that useful, but you know, he's got it. But Harstem has more Tempests. He has better Tempests. And sure, another mining base or a base that's barely mining is going to go down. But whenever Harstem decides to reveal his Tempests are going to be the moment where it's going to be a bit of a problem. And oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate recall. That's going to be a couple Archons that will go down here. Now, Disruptor's moving in. Oh, wait, that's not the best shot. You were flanking from behind as well. Harstem's got to blink out. He's going to lose so much here. ArT, has he found a way back into this game? Has he found critical mass? Because if he knocks this ground army down, then he's going to be able to get on top of the Tempest maybe. So many Disruptors are following the zoning units that keeps Harstem off the army. Or that keeps ArT off the Skytoss army of Harstem. That's a bit spooky. Harstem now down to 59 workers, spending his bank though. As he builds 5 more Tempests. And the crazy thing, folks, despite everything, resources lost is within like 1,000 resources of each other. That in this game, that is insane. Now our army's going to run forward. Disruptor shot doesn't really land, and Mothership dies instantaneously, so you don't really have that one anymore. No nice cloak, but Disruptor shot, okay, it's not getting anything. Harstem blinks backward at the last second. Stalkers blink forward, though. They kill a carrier. They get a Tempest. But again, 4 Tempests at a time. That's the truly scary thing. Stalkers blink forward, though. Trying to get this Tempest down. ArT is doing a really good job with his Tempest control. I don't think he's lost one just yet, but now the Stalkers, they blink forward. There is nothing left for ArT anymore. He will lose this army, and that means he will lose this game. Nice try from ArT. He almost made the comeback happen, but there's just not enough in the sky, not enough on the ground for ArT anymore. Harstem, he moves himself onto tournament point. In the bottom left here, he's up to 1 for the Shopify Rebellion. 1 map away from qualifying once again. His name is Harstem. And in the upper right, in the pink, trying to tie it up, it's ArT. Hey, thanks for the follow. Ice Axe San Francisco. I'm not exactly sure why you need ice axes in San Francisco, but sure. I mean, ice climbing is a thing up here in New Hampshire in the winter. I've never done it. Probably should at some point. Ah, yeah, like a soldier. Do you like my new emotes? I have new emotes. They're very exciting. Like a robot holding up a GG sign. I'm actually a big fan of it. It's actually not Tempex. It's Tempests. There is no... Tempest comes from Latin tempestus, so technically it would be like Tempesti. But... Tempest by itself is not a distinctly Latin or Greek word where you have interesting plurals. But ArT, he says, you know what? The long game, I don't really like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just going to go and play a normal game. Or I'm going to be aggressive. That's what it's going to be. So Proxy Robo, with everything on the line, everything to play for. Oatmeal is delicious. Thanks so much for the follow. With everything to play for in this series, is let me Proxy a Robo. Let me do the 3-gate Robo. Let me channel Eric Fire. And I'm going to make this happen. So Harstem, it doesn't really know what's happening just yet, but he knows there's no natural down. So he will block that for a time. ArT's going to kill that pylon off. Doesn't want to deny as much vision as possible. And Harstem does not have the scout on the Robo. He says, ah, yes, there's a probe. Cool. But actually, I guess this is going to be 2-gate Robo. So more commitment to Robo units, less commitment to gateway units. You get Immortals in this style. It's not just Robo for a Warp Prism. Okay, never mind. There's the 3rd gate. Okay. And this is scouted here. It's scouted at the very last second. So Immortal's now on the way. Harstem, he's got to batten down those hatches. He may even look to give up the natural, but for now, shield batteries on the low ground. That's what he wants to make sure. That's what he wants to make happen. And ArT adding a 2nd pylon just for safety, making sure that he does not lose this before Immortals are out, before his Warp Gate is done, before he's able to properly ramp up that aggression. But folks, there's a reason Ah, it's aspirational. Okay, Isaac, San Francisco. One day there will be a great ice age, and cliffs of ice will hang from the Golden Gate Bridge. There we go. ArT, though, he's going to move in. Sentries are nice, of course, but the shield battery is the most important thing here. We're going to see that one get targeted down pretty quickly, but already ArT getting on top of the Stalkers. They're starting to fall pretty damn quickly. Not one Stalker, I guess one Stalker from ArT has died already. Immortal fighting strong, but it's going to run out of its energy, and shield battery overcharge is ready now. So this fight is a little bit more of a problem. A little bit harder, and already Void Rays are on the way. All right, but now the army running forward. Oh, is it fourth? It's fourth declension then? Instamaniac. I assumed Tempestus, but, you know, it's been a while since I took Latin. Anyway, Harstem now, he's got his natural pretty well buttoned up. And, I mean, ArT had to break him in that first shot. With these Void Rays here now, it becomes really difficult. Immortals, they don't shoot up. So now Harstem looking to move out of the map just a little bit. 2 Immortals here. I mean, they're a powerful fighting force. But when you get to 2 Void Rays, certainly when you get to 3 Void Rays, it becomes a problem. Nice force fields there, but hey, you got a Warp Prism. It's not really going to do all that much for you. So good job there. ArT, again, he's just trying to hit critical mass. He's just trying to find some way where he can just take the one fight that allows him to burst on through his opponent and just take the fight. Because shield battery energy is rather low. Immortals are starting to fire pretty strong. But again, force fields are good, but you just pick them up, you drop them on the other side. We're starting to see, again, decent trades, but shield battery overcharges popped. And now, 15 seconds from now, is going to be ArT's timing. When shield battery overcharge completes, when it's done, that is going to be, if ArT wins this game, it will be right there. So Probe's kind of preemptively pulled here. Harstem knows what he's got to do, but another shield battery is going to pop up. It's going to be a little bit more healing now. The army running on forward. There we go. Void Ray overcharge, prismatic alignment for victory, for glory, for Harstem to try to qualify in, but the supplies, they're continuing to drop. The Void Rays not killing things just quick enough. The Immortals, one of them falls, but Void Rays are falling as well. ArT, he has broken on through here in this game number 4, and folks, it's going to be a game 5 for all the marbles to determine who lives, who dies, who tells the story here of this PvP, who qualifies and who does not, because Harstem is dead in this game. The 3-gate robo, it worked. And there it is. In the bottom right here, he is in the pink. His proxy worked in game 4. He is ArT. And looking to avoid the upset in game 5 for the Shopify Rebellion. His name is Harstem. I mean, I'm glad that the Rebellion picked up Harstem, because Harstem's a great guy, and he really does seem to fit with what the Rebellion need. But on the other hand, I kind of feel a little bit bad for Harstem for leaving Liquid, not for any particular reason, so much as I don't even know how close Harstem was to the Liquid headquarters, but I imagine it was very close. But I like how, like, probably 60% of my cast that we end up having some sort of discussion about, like, about how to properly decline things. And we got Emil, of course. Emil works for Twitch now, but he casts when he can, when he wants to, so he's casting this, of course. And it's not even him.
Game resumed.
All right, so ArT pylon on the bottom side, but this is Schrodinger's pylon. He's not keeping his probe with it. Just looking to put the fear of God in Harstem in this game number 5. Yeah, no, that's very true, Instamaniac. I mean, that you say that, but that's true even now. I mean, I lived in Arizona for 5 years, and I didn't realize how much, because I grew up on the East Coast of the U.S., I didn't realize how much I'd been missing kind of this visceral sense of temporal change. Because in Arizona, you just kind of get hot, less hot. You don't really have a good understanding of how things work. Of time passing, not nearly in the same way. But Harstem will miss this pylon. But for game 5, with everything on the line, it does look like ArT is just going to do standard straight up play. And I don't know. I mean, he was able to punch through Harstem in game 2. But we've had some straight up games for Harstem where he's just looked really dominant. In fact, even in that game where he punched through, it didn't look like he was going to do it until he did. But Harstem, he's got oracles here, and ArT has hallucinated an oracle. Harstem has a real one. That's fun. But oracles dive in the main base. I mean, it's not going to force a bro pull. It's like, oh, okay, very clearly this is hallucination. But the stalkers, they're in proper position here. It's not going to kill the oracle, of course, but will force it back. And ArT just cutting corners here, making sure he doesn't have to get a shield battery early by having all of his stalkers in the main base. Oracle, again, looking for value, but will not find it. I wouldn't even mind seeing the Oracle go and put a stasis trap outside of vision of the Nexus, so when you go and then you transfer workers, but yeah, that's fine. So, of course, ArT, because he did not go Stargate, his blink is going to be a little bit faster. We're going to have to see whether he does pull a Fighting Frog, go for a quick forwards +1 as well, but for now it looks like that is not the solution in this game. When the game goes on. Now 2 adepts arrive. Now these adepts shouldn't get much done. They're gonna actually they will complete their they will complete their shade, and actually they're gonna be able to get stuff even with the stalkers here. 3 workers go down. Is it gonna be 4? It will be. So 4 workers die. A nice little advantage there for us, at least equalizing the worker count. Pop SX. What happened in game 4? It was a 3-gate robo play. Harstem went for a void ray defense, and he almost held, but not quite. That timing where shield battery overcharge is done before extra shield batteries popped up. ArT was able to punish that. He punched his way on through. He knocked all the army on the ground down, and then the void rays fell, and Harstem lost that. And now in game 5, we just get stock standard play. ArT quicker on his 3rd because, again, taking advantage of having a quicker blink, therefore more map agency, because he knows his opponent went Stargate. All right, 3rd base on the way here for Harstem, but ArT active on the map. He doesn't have a blink advantage. Blink is done for Harstem now, and of course with the stasis trap as well, it becomes a little bit complicated. You don't want to blink into that one. But Stalker's going to see it. Yeah, 1 goes for... Oh, nice blink outwards. Yeah, he doesn't get anything here. Another stasis trap goes down, but we should just see that one targeted down. Maybe. No, he's just going to play at the edge of it. 3rd base under significant there. 1 Stalker runs forward, says, yeah, let me give my life for the cause here. That's fine. Shield battery not going to do what it needs to do whatsoever, and now 3rd base is under tremendous threat. Harstem has got to be careful because, again, his life is on the line here. This is game number 5. Don't look at the bottom side. Look at the top side. There we go. The 3rd base, again, you got to target it down, ArT, but he can't. Not really. He doesn't really buy the time, but now 1 more shot. 3rd base gets canceled. ArT gets out with most of his army. He's up 20 supply. He has his 3rd base fully mining. Or at least ready to mine now. And sure, he doesn't have upgrades. But he gets 7 workers. He denies the base. He's building 3 probes at a time. He will be mining out of his pretty damn soon. And with the addition of charge and immortals, well, the addition of charge and immortals, it is a very different story. Sure, +1 is good. Disruptors are good, but I worry now that with the economic lead, ArT's up 10 workers, or he's up 10 workers now. There we go. Thank you. Production cycles made me correct. With the addition of that. Well, I worry that ArT is just going to be able to overwhelm his opponent with just too much stuff. Again, disruptors are good, and they wipe out a lot of supply. But this is single robo disruptor play. Harstem still does not have this 3rd base. And the army from ArT is already rampant on the field. Looking to rampage forward. Looking to paint the map with Harstem's blood. And now here we go. Stalkers run forward. Immortal it goes down immediately. The quick catch from ArT there. More and more Stalkers warping in. Charge is going to be done soon. And that and the Zealots are going to be most important. But for now, we got a cannon here. We got a little bit of tech defense, but Stalkers pulling forward. Disruptor falls. Folks, is this it? Remember where you are. Harstem, his army is falling. His shield battery stack defense is all going down. Zealots joining the fight now. Adding on in the Immortal still firing strong. ArT, he's up 20 supply. ArT qualifies through the upper bracket. Harstem's got another shot, but this is not the way you expected it to go. The Lion rampant on the field. ArT, he takes the game.